Assalamualaikum and good day again. So in this second video tutorial, I'm going to show you, explain to you and share with you on how we're going to use the Bloom taxonomy indicator tool in assisting developing our OBE based syllabus. Alright, this is what you are expected to achieve at the end of this video. First, you're able to recognize the functions in the Bloom taxonomy indicator. What are those tools and how they will be used in assisting us to prepare our OBE based syllabus. And secondly, after watching this video, most likely I'm expecting you to able to apply these tools into your OBE based syllabus. Okay, so basically what you need in this part is the first thing is the Bloom taxonomy indicators, right? This is the Bloom taxonomy indicators, and the second thing that you need to have is the syllabus, right? So this is the syllabus. For this Bloom taxonomy indicator version 3.3, we're going to use, I think that I have explained very lengthily in my first video. In this second video, I'm going to show you exactly on how we're going to use it. So we're going to use these Bloom taxonomy indicators basically for two main parts in our syllabus. The first one is item number 10, the course learning outcome. So we're going to use these tools in order to construct and to validate our course learning outcome, right? The second part that Bloom taxonomy contribute to our syllabus development is item number 15, which is about doing the assessment. And CLO and assessment, they are actually two the so-called very integrate parts from, because when we develop the course learning outcome, at the end we want to know whether we achieve or not. In order to identify whether we achieve or not, we need to measure or to assess, and that's why I say that the process is the symbiosis process. They are linked and integrated together. Okay, now let's start with course learning outcome, right? Basically, you can construct your course learning outcome in two ways. The first, if you are not very sure, basically you will simply try to identify most likely this course, right? This course will cater which domain of cognitive. Basically, if our paper is let's say that 1000 paper, so most likely we are at this level, remember and understand. If our paper like 3000 level, it is supposed to be heavily focused on intermediate, the so-called level, which is apply and analysis. If our papers is 3000 and above, most likely we are looking or concentrating on the higher level of cognitive domain, which is evaluate and create, right? So if you are not very sure which verb that the best you can use to construct your course learning outcome, simply goes to here. Let's say that you want to look into cognitive domain, which is much more intermediate, level C3 and C4. So you just click C3. This is those potential what we call the potential verb that can be used to reflect the cognitive level 3, which is apply. If you want to look for C4, cognitive level 4, which is analysis. These are those possible the so-called verb can be used to reflect the CLO level. Okay. Alright. For example, here that I have already identified my course learning outcome, and I'm using the verb here is discover. Alright. So put discover. So when we enter, discover can cater, the verb discover can cater cognitive level 2 and cognitive level 3 as well, right? So most likely as you are the owner of the syllabus papers, you are the one who construct the course learning outcome. You are the one who better to know which level this course learning outcome actually reflect. So like here, I said I put at level 3 apply, right? And the next one, assess. Okay, when I put assess, I found that only cognitive domain that been identified. There's no affective domain and psychomotor domain can reflect this verb in my CLO. So under the cognitive, again I have two, C3 and C5. So you will need to read and evaluate yourself which cognitive level actually your CLO representing. Like here, you know, I claim that it is under evaluate C5, so I put the C5. So this is how we use the Bloom taxonomy indicator to help us develop our course learning outcome, as well as to validate whether our course learning outcome is actually aligned with what we intend to provide in this course, right? For example, this is a 3000 level course. I'm expecting that most likely it should be intermediate and advanced or high level of cognitive domain. So that's why at the end I got here C3, C5. Alright, formulate. Okay, for formulate, we got here cognitive domain and affective domain. So after going through my CLO, I found that it can reflect C6 and A4, right? So C6 and A4. So once we prepare our course learning outcome, the next thing is about how are we going to measure. And how are we going to measure is also required by MQA for us to have it clearly in our syllabus, which is under the item number 15, assessment method and types. So over here we have to basically in UUM we have two main methods, coursework and examination. So under the coursework we have to indicate individual assignment that we assess to student, right? So for example here I have 3 assignment. Most likely these 3 assignment, you know, reflect my all 3 the so-called course learning outcome. Okay, over here, right? Over here, when we actually have this Bloom taxonomy to validate our course learning outcome, directly after we identify the possible domain of cognitive and affective here, I can quickly looking for what are those possible or prospect methods of assessment. If you click over here, it will lead you to the next window that shows you what are those possible, the so-called assessment method. Over here I have, like, say, in since formula is my third CLO, so my third CLO, basically, right, what I can do, because I have here C6 and A4. If you're talking about C6, you can do essay, report, simulation, clinical assessment, and etc. And A4, reflective journal, simulation, case study, PBL, and so on and so forth, right? So over here, what I have is right. So if I'm going to use the C6, what I can do is, for example, I put here problem based learning, right? Let's see that 20%, and then in order to assess the A4, you know, maybe what we can have a case presentation. All right, case presentation. Okay, over here case presentation. So I have here case presentation. So based on a problem-based learning, they will present the case, right? So this is how we use this Bloom taxonomy in order to identify our and validate our course learning outcome, as well as to suggest to us what are the possible methods for assessment. Okay, let's say that we take another example. Okay, discover, C3, discover. Discover. So under the discover, right, over here I choose C3. So for the C3, what are those possible methods for assessment? Okay, C3 here, it suggests to us we can do essay, report, simulation, clinical assessment, observation, long case, and etc. And based on the suggestion, I choose to have an essay here. Okay, so this is actually, you know, how the Bloom taxonomy indicator tools assisting us in preparing the so-called outcome-based syllabus, right? So I hope that you are now very clear on how to use the Bloom taxonomy indicators, and I wish that after this it's really assess you and give you a better ideas on how these Bloom taxonomy indicators help us. Okay, so that's all for my presentation on this tutorial 2. Okay, thank you.